Thank you very much for the invitation to be here. I'm very happy and humble to present Recode as one solution. My name is Rodrigo Baggio, and I started in Recode 23 years ago in Brazil. Our challenge is we live in a new society where technology and exponential technology change the way of people creating relationships. But we have in Brazil, 50% of the young people are economically disengaged. And 65% of children in school will probably work in the professional that not existing now. So what we do and what we are doing in the last 23 years is we're creating 642 centers for digital empowerment in partnership with community-based organizations, public schools, public libraries in 7 countries, and we have been training more than 1.7 million people in technology and civic engagement education, and we won over 60 international awards. Very proud for our partnership, among others, with UNESCO and Skoll Foundation. We have 3 examples here. For example, this man, he was the one that creating one of the very first kidnapping for money in Brazil. And he was consultant in innovation in criminality for the most important drug dealers gang in Rio de Janeiro. He was 14 years in the prison. In the last prison, I met him and we started one of our digital empowerment centers there. He became our educator. He changed his life. He started to have great behavior, and he left the prison for good behavior. He started one of our centers in his slum, and he training over 15,000 young people in technology and change maker skills, and helping 179 former prisoners starting 179 startups. He is now a Shoka Fellow, so great example about how technology could change lives. Wanderson, he lived in the German complex, a complex of 14 slums in Rio de Janeiro. And he was a kind of COO and CFO of this drug dealers gang. And he was in the prison. And also in his juvenile prison, he was in one of our center for digital empowerment. And he changed his life. He became our educator. He negotiated his dropout for the drug dealer gang. He started working with us with digital empowerment in more than 17 Brazilian states. And Microsoft selected him as an example. And Microsoft, when Satya Nadella went to Brazil 2 years ago, they invited Wanderson to share the stage with the CEO of one of the biggest corporations in the world, showing the power of technology to change lives. And in different indigenous villages in the Amazon rainforest, we start some of our centers for digital empowerment. And in one of these, in the Ashaninka village, drug dealers from Peru start to kill indigenous and rape indigenous women. In that process, the indigenous start a campaign in the internet asking for the presidents of Brazil sending army for the border of Brazil to defend. This email started a movement in Brazil, and the email arrived in the president of Brazil, and he connected with the army, and the army sent helicopters, and when the helicopters arriving, the drug dealers leave the indigenous territory, and the Ashaninka won the war. And they won the war because they use the internet to negotiate peace. These are some examples about our changing. What's our solutions? We have free technology courses in the digital platform, courses like exponential technology for social entrepreneurs, courses like coding, apps for impact, also courses about virtual reality 360 for impact. By the way, yesterday, UN selected one of our short films in VR 360 to show the power of this technology generate empathy and impact. And yesterday, that movie about a community leader in the central region in Brazil was shown here in the UN headquarters. And our methodology to stimulate people be a change makers. In our 4 steps methodology, we stimulate our students understand more about their reality, find a challenge, do a project, using the technology that they are learning to impact that challenging, and go to action, having exercising an experiment about how to be a social entrepreneur or an impact entrepreneur or a civic entrepreneur. And also have 21st century social emotional skills. Our goal here is go for the next level of impact of our organization and reach more than 5 million people in 10 years. And for that, we need your support, connecting us with technology company and foundations. We strongly believe about if we use technology to change lives and developing communities, we can also use that technology to change our society in a society with more freedom and solidarity. This is our utopia. Thank you.
Incredible. Okay, come on up, our solution partners, our acceleration partners, and Rodrigo, while they're coming up, I just want to say, you know, the more empowerment, come on up, that we have with these technologies so everyone feels comfortable with this stuff and not confused and worried. We see a lot of terrible uses. The UN today, you know, there's been mentioned the weaponization of AI and militarization and AI with weapons and very, very difficult conversations. You know, we had yesterday on the stage cyberbullying in Pakistan and honor killings because of that. So there's great solutions out there, and I love what you're doing is about how everybody can become fluent. So let's hear from our amazing colleagues.
Thank you. Really inspiring sort of technology and development here. Shankari again from the Unreasonable Group. I think this really hits close to home in terms of some work that we're doing at Unreasonable around the future of work. And I think what's really important here is that as we go through this sort of technological revolution, there are some groups that are left behind. And I think what this really addresses is making sure that the youth of today are literate in the language of development and commerce tomorrow. So I think the request here would be for all of the federal and regional governments, multilateral institutions that are here to really think through what are innovative ways like this that we can support the youth of today in their technology sort of development and literacy. That's something that we'd love to support you in and connect you to the right resources as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
And then Zoe's joining us. Zoe, I am lucky to serve on the board of Vital Voices, where you are an incredible leader, which is a network of women innovators, 15,000, 20,000. And one of the challenges we have, of course, is that we have weird ideas about who does what, and that somehow certain people are mathematical or technical and others are not, which is a huge mistake for humanity because we have so much talent. You know, I come from working in Silicon Valley where we have terrible challenges around culture and intellectual combat and way too many imbalance of gender and race, which is really devastating for us because so many people are so talented. And so I'm so happy to see you on the stage with this. So Zoe, what are your thoughts?
Thank you. I think that in the field of entrepreneurship, which is our space of the group of women from Vital Voices who are here with us this week, we're looking at technology to provide solutions for some of their challenges. And I just wanted to call them out, actually. We've got 5 entrepreneurs. 4 of them are here in the room with us today. So I'm going to just read them out. Marta from Peru, who is doing organic snacks and basing it on environmental sustainability. So all of them are addressing the SDGs. Habiba from Nigeria, there she is at the back. She's doing renewable energy, solar lamps, water purifiers in northern Nigeria, an amazing, amazing social entrepreneur. Maya from Serbia, there she is. Maya is a very unique entrepreneur. She started a non-profit addressing human trafficking in Serbia and has started a for-profit bagel business as a means of sustainable living for the NGOs, so income generation for the NGO. Then we have Hadil from Jordan, there she is, using STEM in education in Jordan and also working with refugee children. And then Shimrit, who is not here because she's actually presenting to a bunch of landscape architects, is working with an eco-concrete, which is rebuilding the oceans. So amazing, amazing women.
Yeah, I want to pause on that. The coral reefs have been here for 200 million years.
Yeah.
And I don't want them destroyed on our watch. And so what I love about her innovation, he has concrete that the coral can adhere to. So there's so much great innovation. Tomorrow we're going to be moving to energy and food and water and how we live properly with our planet. Yeah. So you guys are all creating networks, and this is an example of one. So this technology, is a way of empowering everybody.
It is. And things like blockchain are super exciting for us also in these same groups of women addressing things like human trafficking, figuring out ways that we can do that.
So everybody needs training and up to speed. Okay, great.
Ready to go. Hi, I'm Philip Kirchhoff. I'm with CEO of Startup Bootcamp Afrotech. We're a global network of accelerator programs, and we look for startups that are just like you. So it's really inspiring what you're doing. What really strikes me is that it took 21 years for you to get to the first 1.7 million people that are impacted. And that's an impressive number, but you've also had to struggle really, really hard because as a startup, you're always resource constrained. And in some of our offline conversations, you've talked about what it's taken for you to do it internally and with very low salaries and struggling with equipment and et cetera. One of the things we specialize in is looking for collaborations between corporates and startups and helping big organizations that have access to scale work with innovative startups like yourself that have figured out the ways to accomplish their goals. So one of the things that we would love to work with you on is better ways to work with large corporates, because all of them want young digital innovators. All of them see that training the talent of the future is their future it's in their own best interest. And you've solved that, you've cracked that. So we want to help you work with ways, help work with corporates so that they can find ways to attract those young digital innovators and do what you're doing, but in those organizations. The other thing you had mentioned was that you're now coming across to Africa, where we have a large presence. So we want to work on that South-South partnership and really bring all the amazing things you're doing across to our continent. So look forward to working together.
Fabulous, Philip. The oldest method is apprentice journey mastery, right? And you're talking about with the young people pulling them in, or all age people pulling everybody into feeling confident in their creativity around these areas of what they would apply. And we need these goals solved. So thank you very much.
Yeah, well, now you see the scale. I mean, so 1.7 million people took 21, 22 years, and you're going to get to 5 million people in the next 1 year. So now you've hit the exponential curve, and we're thrilled to be part of that journey with you. So.
And they can pay for it. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, amazing.